Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's Combo Breaker 99 back on the fight front once again. All right, man, got a women's MMA fight here. Let's take a look at Joanne Calderwood versus Ariane Violence Queen Lipski. This is on the prelims of the UFC Fight Night 143 card. All I gotta say, man, is this fight will have violence in it and there will be blood. I smell a very nasty stand-up fight that's not going 3 rounds, man. Jojo Calderwood, since returning last year over the summer at flyweight, you know, she came in with a surprise submission victory over Clarence Faria, and she added some new tools to her game. You know, ever since she switched camps to Syndicate, you know, she's made her move up, and you know, she's been looking more confident and stronger than before, man. And you know, she's trying her best to get to that flyweight title. Ever since I saw her at strawweight, you know, I felt like, you know, she was going to be a champion at 115 because of her style, you know, her strength and her height. But you know, as the competition got tougher, you know, there were some holes in her game that she had to go back and work on. And I think that she's been going through what she needed to go through to make her a better fighter. And the flyweight division is where she's going to get to show it, man. But Ariane Lipski, she's definitely the opponent that Calderwood needs right now to really test her all-around skill and strength, to see how she handles this level before she gets anywhere near Valentina. Lipski, she lives up to the name Violence Queen. This is her first fight in the UFC, and she's on a 9-fight winning streak. After watching her a few times, you know, a few of her fights with the name Violence Queen, you know, she's definitely not the type to go in and, you know, try to, you know, trade punches with. You know, she's in there dishing ass whoopers out, and she's making them look exciting, man. Like, first time I saw some of her fights, I was like, damn, man, this girl is good. But Jojo's definitely a step up in competition for her, and I feel like this is the fight that she needs as a debut in the UFC to really put her on notice. But okay, man, let's look at some of the strengths and weaknesses here. Jojo, you know, she's coming from the Muay Thai background. Jojo's striking has always been her keys to victory. Jojo has a very good jab. You know, when she lets it go in a straight right hand, I feel like she packs that underrated power. And, you know, she tattoos everybody up, you know. I mean, whenever she lands something, she usually gets the respect of her opponents. I think that's one of the things I feel she doesn't take full advantage of is her power and accuracy, you know, because even in her losses, you know, her opponents that she's beat, they still don't walk away without catching some mark from her. You know, they'll walk away looking tattooed from her, you know what I mean? But her striking is definitely her highlight. But next to her striking is her front kicks. You know, once Jojo applies that pressure, you know, she keeps good range. She fires those front kicks to the stomach or your mid, you know, or to your ribs, to the midsection. You know, she can drop you or take the wind out of you. And but let's not forget her knees. You know, her nickname is Dr. Neville. So, you know, the knees in the clinch, they're definitely a killer. She can bust you up and bloody you up with those knees. But so definitely one of her biggest strengths. Now, a few of her weaknesses, I feel those are based off of her past fights at 115. You know, her takedown defense, it hasn't been the best. I feel like she's physically strong, so, you know, she's been able to push opponents off of her or keep them to a standstill. But, you know, more skilled grapplers, and the stronger they are, they've been able to take her down. But I feel like since she's been training with Syndicate and with Roxanne Modaffar, I think like she's been able to kind of use her length and height to stop those takedowns, and at the same time get her own takedowns and submissions now. And I think that's something that she may need in this fight, even though this might be a standing fight most of the night. But say if she was getting outstruck by Ariane Lipski, this is something that she might want to take a chance and do. Another weakness is her defense. You know, Jojo has a solid chin, which is her strength, but the weakness is sometimes she takes too many punches, you know, just because she has a good chin. You know, sometimes to make an exciting fight, you know, she'll keep coming forward, and to get off shots, she'll take like 2 or 3 to get maybe 1 sometime. But you want to do the opposite, you know, and I feel like she doesn't move her head enough. Sometimes when she's coming straight forward, you know, she's getting hit, you know, and sometimes she'll come out with a busted nose or a bloody mouth. And she might want to cut back on that. You know, she got to move the head a little bit more because, you know, you want to win. You want to put on exciting fights, but it's all about winning too, man. And I feel like if she's walking an opponent down, you know, like, if she, you know, she's not really fainting or moving to set up her own punches, you know, she's going to be catching a lot of shots. And against somebody like Lipski, you don't want to walk into any of her punches, man. You don't want to walk into any of those, because I'm talking about this girl's the same height, has the same reach, and I've seen her land some big right hands before. Definitely not somebody you want to go in there and trade with or just walk down and walk into anything. So leading into Ariane Lipski, also a deadly striker, Muay Thai specialist. Lipski is a very patient starter, you know, from what I've seen. You know, she has some good feints and a good jab to set up. I feel like, you know, she uses that jab well to set up her right hand. But if she sees like an opening on you, you know, she'll jump on you. You know, if somebody's a little bit weaker, she'll go ahead and jump on you and land those hard hooks. And I feel like her money punch is that right hand. I've seen in a lot of her fights that right hand really gets the respect out of a lot of fighters right away. Most opponents, you know, that she's had, they stand right in front of her. And once they stand right there, you know, and she lands that right hand, they either fall back or they lay out, you know. Again, from the Muay Thai background, you know, her same as Jojo, her leg kicks, they're pretty brutal. Every shot she throws, you know, she's trying to make it count. You know, she's always trying to throw that leg kick, you know, to the side and go right back into a striking position. But from what I've seen, I'd say her weaknesses probably are just her level of competition. You know, she hasn't really been able to use a ground game as well, you know, or really fought anybody on a high level yet. You know, like most of the opponents I've never seen before, you know, honestly. So another weakness I'd have to say is her chin at this point. You know, it hasn't really been tested. You know, I know she has a stoppage loss to Diane Firmino, but I'd like to see how she could react to someone who could hit just as hard or, you know, just as tough like somebody like Jojo. So this is a perfect fight for her. Her defense is okay, you know, but I noticed that in some of her positions after throwing a combination, you know, she can be wide open too. Also, you know, whenever she throws those hooks, you know, she hooks to the body, you know, gets a little hook happy, she can leave both sides exposed, leaving her open for more counters. And, you know, the last part, back to what I said about her competition, you know, like I said, this fight is definitely going to be a test for her because, you know, out of her 9 fights before, 9-fight winning streak, you know, I feel like JoJo's another animal, and she's definitely going to be her toughest fight she's faced. So, you know, JoJo has that heart, and I feel like Ariane has that heart, and both fighters going to be testing each other in this one, man. But if I had to make a prediction on this fight, man, I predict there's going to be a lot of blood. But I'd have to go with JoJo by a stoppage. I'd probably pick JoJo by stoppage in like the second round. I think Ariane and JoJo, they're going to trade in the first rounds, and I think Ariane might rock JoJo like the first round with the right hand. And once JoJo takes that right hand the first time, I think, you know, she's going to make that adjustment, you know, after she's tasted her power and, you know, and tested her power, she's going to make that adjustment to avoid the right hand. And I think she's going to walk her down, but also use some good front kicks to take the wind out of her. But a lot of back and forth action in the fight. Definitely, you know, both fighters going to walk away with marks on them, some type of marks and cuts. But I have to pick JoJo in the later rounds if she wears her down, because I don't think Ariane has ever fought somebody with the power of JoJo. I think JoJo will probably stop her in like the late half of the second round. But yeah, that's my call on this one. I know it's going to be a good fight. You know, I definitely can't count Lipski out though, man. That's my pick though. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if we went the other way too. But, you know, I'm a JoJo fan, so got to ride with JoJo on this one, man. But let me know what you guys think of this fight. Who you think's going to pull this one out? Whoever wins this fight, do they deserve a title shot next to? That's the question. Let me know in the comment section, guys. But make sure y'all subscribe. Combo Breaking 99. I'm out. Peace.